Wednesday, December 9th, 6 p.m. This regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners is called to order. City Clerk, will you call the roll?
Mayor Hendricks.
Here.
Vice Mayor Andrews.
Here.
Commissioner Price. Here. Commissioner Hodges.
Here.
Commissioner Dowser.
Here.
Commissioner Hodges, will you lead us in an invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance?
Okay, thank you.
Father in heaven, give us the power to clearly discern right from wrong, along with our words and actions to be governed thereby and by the laws of this land. We ask for your inspiration to strive in our endeavors to serve the public. We also ask that you direct us so that, above all things, we will discharge our duties for the benefits of the people that we serve. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next is approval of the agenda. Mr. Daniels, do you have any changes on here?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I do. On the public hearings, I believe it's going to be 7B. That one had a publication error, so we'll have to present that one at the meeting in January. So I ask that that be stricken from the agenda.
Anything else?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as written with the change, eliminating 7B.
Second.
City Clerk, will you call the roll?
Vice Mayor Andrews.
Yes.
Commissioner Hodges.
Yes.
Commissioner Price.
Yes.
Commissioner Dowser.
Yes.
Mayor Hendricks.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Next is proclamations. Presentations. There are no proclamations, presentations tonight. Chief Black, I understand you have a new hire you'd like to introduce to us.
Actually, I post Chief Bell.
I'll go with
Black mask.
I'm sorry. That's
I didn't catch it.
It's all right. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Thank you for giving us a few more minutes of your time this evening. We were supposed to do this last month, and Joe was actually on a call. In the nature of the beast, she got a call, so she wasn't able to be there. The on-duty crew tonight, they're supposed to be here. They got a call. It's just the nature of the beast. So for somebody that wants to actually sign up for that and do it during a pandemic, shows you the character and the dedication of this job and these citizens. So with that, I want to introduce paramedic firefighter Joanna Marinello. I would also like to add that Joe was my very first hire as a fire chief, so she stuck with that designation for the rest of her career.
Oh.
And hopefully the best hire.
Thank you, Chief Belk. I apologize for my slip of the tongue, but it was actually written on here Black, and I was just going with the flow. Next is public comment. Is there anyone that'd like to make any public comments for anything that is not on the agenda tonight?
Mayor, if I may, we did have the janitorial services that did not make the agenda, and, Angel is here tonight, so I just wanted to let him know it's not on the agenda for tonight, but if you'd like to come up and address the commission, you can do so now.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm a little bit nervous. I'm gonna read my notes because my English is a little bit little. So I want everybody to understand what, my.
You'll be fine. My Spanish is a little bit bad, too.
Okay, thank you so much. To the City of Madeira Beach and board members, my name is Wanda Nieves, and this is my husband, Angel Nieves. We are the owners of the WA Cleaning Services. We have been serving the city of Madeira Beach about 6 years already. It has been a joy and pleasure building a relationship with the staff and leadership in this office for the last 6 years. This contract has been more than just a business opportunity for us, but an opportunity to establish a relationship built and trust with not only the staff, but its surrounding businesses and owners. We are a local family-owned cleaning business and pride itself of providing outstanding janitorial and customer service. As a local company, we believe in the power of building and establishing long-lasting relationship with our surrounding customers by providing excellence in the service we provide. Since we have started here with the City of Madeira Beach, we were committed to go above and beyond with the cleaning and maintaining of each property. We don't just follow minimal routines on our contracts and daily cleaning responsibilities. We don't just check the box. We do that and more. We are here every day, ready to serve you. We are available whenever we're needed. Since we are a local family-owned company, we are able to supervise closely and on the quality of work that we do with our staff. We also respond quickly to emergencies and timely requests that come from the staff no matter what, and we're willing to partner up to provide strategies and support whenever they need it. This is not just another contract for us. This is a family, and we take ownership and pride in our work. Willing to put extra time, hours, and daily detail in our jobs. We take sanitation and cleaning very seriously. And because of our continued relationship with the City of Madeira Beach, we are very familiar with both the procedures and expectations that the city holds for cleaning and sanitation services, especially in the last 6 months with COVID-19 health and cleaning protocols. We appreciate every year an opportunity that the City of Madeira Beach has given us to make sure the properties look great and make people feel safe and clean. We understand that it means to take ownership and do whatever it takes, which is why when we notice that things are broken and clogged in our places, we report it. However, we try to fix it in our own, which is not included in our contract. And we do not charge extra. We do this so that we go above and beyond, the expectation on our services that we provide, and we are proud of this city. So we do whatever it takes to ensure that we save time and money for the city and avoid complaints, so that the city is safe and look good for the public. We understand that there may be contracts that will offer a cheaper price for the current service listed. However, I'd like to remind the board that we have been here for 6 years. We have never asked for a raise, and the city has given us the proper budgets and increases to ensure the job is done well and with proper presentation. Our bid only reflects our current budget that the city has given us, which includes all the supplies. We want to take this opportunity to thank the city of Madeira Beach for the work provided. And I also want to thank our team for the outstanding job and quality that has been provided over the years. Without our staff, we wouldn't have served this city with excellence. We hope that you will continue to give us the opportunity to provide quality services for the properties of Madeira Beach. And we are confident that we will be able to meet and continue to exceed the terms set for our contract. Thank you so much, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, if I may, first of all, Wanda, you did great. What are you talking about? You were fantastic. I understood every word you said. That was great. Secondly, this is what stinks about municipal government and RFPs and things along the lines of that, because you are not going to meet two finer people than these two. I was working here when these guys came on, and when this whole facility was built. I mean, we were hiring somebody in the beginning for the old facility, and then all of a sudden these guys came in, and every week we had to add something to their contract because we were just moving into a new place, and they never complained. They had to go buy more supplies. I mean, that's one of the reasons I hate sitting up here when you got to take low bid on this, and you can't even really compare the quality of service and the things along the line here. And this has nothing to do with the company that we selected. This was the recommendation of the city was to do that, and we followed the recommendation of the city. But, guys, I love you. You know that. So wow. Well, thank you for coming up and doing that. That was really awesome. And, if there's anything we can do to help you out, you let me know, okay? Thanks, guys.
I've got to agree with everything Commissioner Andrews said. You guys have been a part of the family here, and, thank you. Sometimes I'm just too much of an old softy.
We're still under,
Beg your pardon?
we're still under public comment, Mr. Mayor.
Yep. Is there anyone else that would like to make any public comments tonight?
Just raise your hand if you want to, okay.
Sure.
I filled out paper, and I'm not sure if this is the right time, but I'm going to try. My name is Michelle Young. I live at 111 Boca Ciega Drive, Madeira Beach, Florida. I just recently finished my home there. It took 4 years. I started building in 2016. And it's my first Christmas after chemotherapy, so I'm joyful to be here. The reason for my coming to you today is that I would like to see if I can have, or I can suggest, a change in the ordinance that's presently, or an amendment to the ordinance, which supports backyard structures. Presently, if you are R2 property, you have to have a setback in the backyard of 25 feet. If you R1, the setback is 30 feet. Most of the lots, at least in my street, Boca Ciego Drive, are non-conforming. The house was built in 1950. There was not a lot of land. With the new virus and the pandemic, most individuals are spending more time at home. Gardening as a hobby and a way to actually go outside and have some sanity in your normalcy in your life has become a way of life. Presently, due to the setbacks that has been appropriated back in 2017, where that became the ordinance, the 30-foot and the 25-foot setback does not allow for any seasonal accessory structures, prefabricated. Those are like gazebos, garden houses, that would give entertainment and ability for the homeowners to actually garden and not have just 2 seats in the backyard in the middle of the sun. These structures could be applied as only structures for seasonal use. They're not permanently structured. You buy them and you see them at Home Depot, you see them at Lowe's, you see them at Costco, Sam's. And that provides shade for gardening, and we have most of our citizens that are older population. Due to their actual budgets and the cost rising on food, most of them are actually gardening their vegetables. And you will see more of that. So my request for a change is to step up to the time, to step up with the new life that we're leading due to the virus. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that'd like to speak? Do we have any emails for public comment?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay, thank you. Next is public hearings. The first item is ordinance 2020-25. City Attorney, will you read the ordinance?
Yes, Mayor, Commissioners. Ordinance 2020-25, an ordinance of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, calling for a municipal election on March 9, 2021, for the purpose of electing a commissioner for District 3 and a commissioner for District 4, providing for publication, authorizing election expenditures, identifying the Pinellas County Canvassing Board as the canvassing board for the March 9, 2021 municipal election, providing for repeal of ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith to the extent of such conflict, and providing for an effective date. That was the first reading of ordinance 2020-25 by title only.
City Clerk, do you have any presentation on this?
As the city attorney mentioned, the ordinance refers to, it calls the election for the March the 9th, 2021 municipal election, and 2 seats are up, Commissioner District 3 and Commissioner District 4, and the ordinance also provides for the 2 voting places. One is Precinct 415, which is Madeira Beach Municipal Building, City Center Room, 300 Municipal Drive, Madeira Beach, Florida, which is in this location. Precinct 301, Calvary Church Seminole, which is combined, 6155 113th Street, Seminole, Florida, 33772. And also, the qualifying period for that is going on right now. It started at noon, December the 7th on Monday, and it ends noon, December the 18th, which is next Friday.
Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion amongst the commission?
No.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion. Oh,
Go ahead.
okay, go ahead. I'll make a motion to pass ordinance number 2020-25, regarding the election on March 9th, 2021.
And I'll second.
City Clerk, will you call the roll?
Oh,
Okay, sorry about that. No problem. Is there any public comment on this?
Thank you.
Can we go ahead? Do we need to,
Remotion.
make a motion again?
No, sir?
Okay.
No.
City Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Price,
Yes.
Commissioner Hodges,
Yes.
Commissioner Douthat,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Andrews,
Yes.
Mayor Hendricks.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Next is the consent agenda. Does any commissioner want to pull any item off the consent agenda for further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, if I may, I don't need to pull anything or have it rewritten, but if you guys look at page 35 and 36, the bottom of the page, it is about the marina rewrite. I don't mean to keep bringing it up, but on page 36, if you look at the second paragraph on page 36, agreed and said to include it on Nextdoor and any public social media websites. I really haven't seen this anywhere other than we sent out an email in the database, and I would like it included on Nextdoor and any other public social media websites that we do. It doesn't have to be rewritten. I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention.
Okay.
And even the email that went out had an incorrect
Right.
subject line on it.
I
So-
want, if we're going to make the correction, we got to let everybody know about the correction, that's all.
Okay, City Manager, can you take care of that for us?
Yes, I thought it went out on social media, but I will verify it. But I had a problem getting it out on Nextdoor, and I'll see if that was rectified. So.
Okay, thank you. And, let's see.
I do have one issue I'd like to have pulled, if I may. It's item J, which is the seawall assessment. That has not been workshopped yet for our policy, so I didn't want you to think we were trying to slip something in. It was an error, so if we can pull that.
Yes, please. Okay. Is there any public comment on this? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. I'm sorry, with the, with removing letter J, seawall assessment.
I'll second.
City Clerk, will you call the roll?
Vice Mayor Andrews,
Yes.
Commissioner Price,
Yes.
Commissioner Hodges,
Yes.
Commissioner Douthat,
Yes.
Mayor Hendricks.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Next is new business, appointments to the Civil Service Commission. City Clerk, would you like to give a,
Yes, sir. Currently, there are 2 vacancies, and I had 3 applicants. One is a current member, which is Grace Curtelli, and she emailed us, I believe it was on Monday, for personal reasons and stuff. She doesn't want to have her name considered. She has it pulled back, so now we have 2 vacancies and 2 applicants. The commission can look at the qualifications and all, or can pick those 2, appoint those 2 vacancies, or ask that we put it back out for new applications. It's up to the commission on what they want to do.
I rather liked the two other candidates, at least on paper. I don't know if they're here to make their case, but, I'd be happy to hear from them.
The applicants were invited to the meeting tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think both of the other applicants, I mean, I love Grace. She's done a great job on the board, but if she needs to pull out, the other two applicants seem to have pretty extensive backgrounds. I see no reason not to put them on.
Is Mr. Embler here?
It's a miss.
Is it?
Yeah.
Jean, okay.
I know.
Is Ms. Embler here? I apologize. Okay. How about Ms. McLaughlin? Okay. I'm fine with those two candidates from what I saw on their resumes.
I know in the past, Grace has been on a lot of different, items here with the city as far as, being part of a group or volunteering for the front desk, so she's done a great job. As far as I'm concerned, the two candidates that we have listed now are eligible as far as I can see.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we, accept the two candidates who, currently put their names in the hat to be part of our civil service board.
I'll second.
City Clerk, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Price,
Yes.
Commissioner Hodges,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Andrews,
Yes.
Commissioner Douther,
Yes.
Mayor Hendricks.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Mr. Mayor, if I
Yes.
may, just for a minute, I guess I should have mentioned it before, but, Madam Clerk, what are the dates of this appointment, just for the record?
The appointments being October's passed, they're immediately.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next is staff reports.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. Just wanted to give you a brief update on where we are with the RFP for the fuel dispensers that we're working on, since we don't have a workshop here in the month of December. RFP went out last week. I fielded a few questions from some different vendors. We had an optional meeting today. We didn't have any of the contractors show up. However, over the last year, we've reached out to some of them, and they've actually come and given us bids over the past year. This was prior to us realizing we needed to do an RFP. A lot of that was to get it, so we kind of knew what the dollar figures were to put it into the budget. So we know we're pretty much on schedule with the budget. The RFP will close next week, and with the city manager and the finance director, we'll do the opening and follow those specific procedures we have to do in order to get that contract done. It's about an 8-week lead time is kind of what the feedback I'm getting from some of the contractors, from when we give them a notice to proceed till they actually will get installed. So what we'd like to do then is, I wanted to bring it to you tonight and then bring it to you at the meeting in January for approval, again, as long as it's still in line with all the budget numbers and everything. And that way we can get it done in March, kind of before big season starts, because we're going to be shut down for at least a day, possibly 2, while they do all the taking out the old, installing the new, doing all the testing that has to be done. So, subject to any questions.
Just try to make that on a, like, Tuesday, Wednesday.
No.
Don't make it on a Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, absolutely. We would do it on a Tuesday or Wednesday kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is obviously the slowest day of the week, and so.
Yeah, I know we need to get those pumps in and get it to where we can pay at the pump and kind of, free up those guys. I know it's kind of hectic out there, and it really slows the process down right now. So
Right.
that should speed it up getting into the busy season, so. Okay. Thank you, Brian.
All right, thank you.
City Manager?
Thank you. I handed out a couple items for you to take a look at. We have been working on, it's a collective we too, the mayor's been involved, and a number of the staff members have been involved with the Johns Pass sand issue. We have finally got the county to move somewhat, and they have a interlocal agreement that's at the top of the page, and then inside is the proposal by Dr. Ping Wang in reference to doing the actual study, which is the next step of what we really need to get accomplished. In the agreement, it specifies Florida Department of Transportation kicking in $7,500. The Pinellas County is kicking in $7,500 towards the study. The merchants that are there, I would assume it's going to be Mr. Mulla of kicking in $10,000, and they're asking us to kick in $10,000. I was prepared tonight to come to you, with the holidays and everything, to keep this thing moving, asking for authority up to $10,000, and then coming back and having that ratified, when we had our next meeting. But we did get these documents. The current place of the documents, Attorney Trask has reviewed them and has sent them to the county attorney's office with his comments, and they are closed apparently until the 14th of this month. And I don't know if there's anything you want to add, Tom, but...
Yeah, I received this yesterday. This morning, I provided Brendan McAsee with my comments. Brendan is the one that's not available until the 14th. The only reason I know that is because when I forwarded him my suggested changes to the contract, the email that came back said that he was out of the office and wouldn't be back to the 14th. So I just want to let you know there's going to be a couple of days lag there. But I made quite a few changes in the draft agreement for the protection of the city. I don't think that they're going to be objectionable. But I would like them to at least consider the changes that I had suggested. So hopefully we'll hear back when the county attorney that's handling it, Brendan McAfee, gets back into the office on the 14th.
Thank you. I'd like to see this get moving as quickly as we can once we've got the contract in place.
My plans is to bring it back probably at a special meeting. I know it's with the holiday season and so forth, but whatever we can work out, and I'll get with Clara. So if you all have some time that you're going to be out of town, if you'll let Clara know, and then I'll just kind of coordinate with her if we need to get it in Tom's schedule. I know that's probably going to be the impossible during the season, but if there's one day, we'll get her done. So
yeah, I'd like to do that. Like yesterday to get things moving.
Yes, but at least we're at this stage where, a month or so ago, I was really questioning whether we were going to get where we need to get. And, it's not the end. This is just going to be the study, and it's going to take 6 months to do the study. But at least we're showing that we're moving forward, and we're putting some skin in the game to get the job done.
And we've also been told that if we get this study done, we can get it in front of the legislature and try to get something to the governor's desk to maybe get some help there. So time is of the essence on getting this done to get it to the legislature.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, it looks like we're kind of running at a pretty good budget according to Andrew's report that he came out. We're at 5.47. I know there's money here somewhere. The city manager has spending authority up to $14,999. I don't think we need to have a meeting in order for you to approve to spend $10,000. So as long as everybody's shaking their head in agreement, I think we could just, I don't think we need to sit down again and do it. We can put it on the next meeting and just approve it then.
that'll work if, you can add to that, giving me the authority, obviously with the approval of the city attorney, to sign the interlocal agreement. They only have one signature for it, and, obviously I can bring it back after the fact and have you all approve it if you're comfortable with that.
I'm comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever does it the quickest.
And I'll just put it on the January agenda and at the regular meeting, and have you approve both the expenditure and the interlocal agreement.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
And I think I'd like to at least express to all our citizens out there that in this contract, the county is paying at least Florida Department of Transportation, $7,500, Johns Pass Plaza, $10,000. So we're spreading that pain around.
That's, yeah, the county's
Probably
paying
not the best,
$7,500.
yeah,
The total
yeah.
contract is $35,000.
Yeah, okay.
And Mr. Mayor, I'd like to yield the rest of my time to our finance manager, director, and let him go through his financials with you.
Great, thanks, Bob. So a couple documents that have been put in front of you. One's the October monthly financial report, and then the second is another document that's going to highlight some exciting changes ahead. That's going to change how I'll be delivering financial information to you all in the future. So just a quick highlight on the October report. As we can see from page 1, as Commissioner Andrews pointed out, in total, general fund, we're at 5.47%. Of this first page, anything that looks conspicuous is probably legal services. We have $154,000 budgeted, 0 expended. That's because Tom Trask and his firm has graciously decided to provide all his services pro bono.
Thank you.
Somebody started early.
So let's all just thank him tremendously for that graciousness. Honestly, that has Trask office provides his invoice at the beginning of the following month, and then it goes through invoice processing on our side. So by the time that we gotten it processed and had in the accounting system, this report was already prepared. But that kind of highlights some of the changes that I want to present to you all and give you all information real time. Obviously, this is point in time dated as of the date we run it. So there's a few changes that some are already in production and have been implemented by the city, and others that we're working on will be coming your way soon. So that takes me to the second document, which is a software application that the city has implemented. It's a digital form and workflow administration and dashboard reporting solution. That's a large mouthful, so maybe we can go through about what that means. In the short run, is maybe you are already aware, maybe not, the city's been largely very paper-based in its processes, and they've been very manual in terms of producing a purchase requisition form that was manually produced, getting signatures, wet signatures, all the way from invoice approvals, signing invoices, physically moving them among departments and to the city manager and to finance to get processed for payment. Some of that could be, you can see some inherent inefficiencies and some time-consuming elements to that. So this new workflow and dashboard reporting solutions is relieving that. So we've got a number of users, probably over 25 users within the city. Each city employee has his or her own login with your city email and your own unique password, and then it takes you to your dashboard. And this is on the bottom of page 1. This is what your dashboard looks like. So we've digitized all of these forms that you see here on the bottom of page 1. So a purchasing form replaces the old purchase requisition, change orders, if we want to do a change order on a PO, AP invoice approval, that's now done electronically, purchasing cards that are used. We used to have just paper statements. and then receipts attached and physically hand those to finance for processing. So that's now done in electronic form. And then the budgeting process, instead of having just spreadsheets that have been passed around department by department, they'll be completed via these forms and go through an actual workflow approval process. The next page is just, the next page then, on page 2, just highlights some of the information that's now available to department heads. So for building department, for example, they will be able to see their actual spend by account compared to budget. So the red means that they're over 90% spent for that particular line compared to budget. Yellow means I think they're in the 60 to 80%. Green is they're under 60%. So this will also help departments to keep track and analyze how they're faring in actual compared to budget on a real-time basis, as this information is fed nightly from the accounting system, Munis, into this workflow and dashboard reporting solution. And then the last on this second page is also their purchase orders. So what we've used by purchase order compared to what's in total on that for that. To spending my total allowed amount for that vendor for that PO as we get closer to red helps them keep their eye on it and it's a good tracking mechanism. And then just starting on through page 3 through the rest of the document, these are all the forms that staff are now completing online and so hitting the submit button, and that gets routed automatically to approval depending on the general ledger accounts will dictate which department heads that goes to for approval, then to the city manager, finance director, and finance ultimately to input in the system. So we've already implemented this and we're underway. As you skip through to all the different forms, I've just printed them out for you all so you can see them. Happy to give you all an individual demonstration if you're ever interested. But then that takes me to the last page here. This is phase 2. So ultimately what we're going to do is also take that financial data that's getting fed into this dashboard, but also have it as a link to the city's website. So what you all would be able to do, as well as members of the public, would just be able to select the fund, the department, and get all kinds of information on current year actual budget comparison. You'll have bar chart comparisons, pie chart for spend for a particular fund, and all the funds. We've got a lot of different graph and chart ideas and present that in financial information to you all that, like I said, is real time as you go in. So what my plan will be for the future will be for the meeting, pulling some of that information out, and then just my focus will be just explaining some of those maybe unusual variances or fluctuations by budget to actual for different funds and departments. So excited for that phase 2 to launch and have that link available on the website. My goal will be, by the Christmas holidays, we've got that up and running. So exciting times ahead.
Andrew, are we going to get a printout like this then, each commission meeting?
It's up to you how you want to do it.
I was going to say, because if that's the case, city clerk, we're going to need 5 magnifying glasses.
You can't hardly read it.
I would make each chart, much bigger, so you'd have one big pie chart for the whole page.
Okay.
So we can fine-tune how we want to present that in a PDF document that'll be attached to the agenda. So obviously I want to make it as easy for you to read as possible, but point is on your own you can at any time go in and say, I wonder what fire, I wonder what marina's current spend is and where they are budget to actual, and you can do that on your own.
I don't know about you guys, but I hate this. This is entirely too transparent. I mean, what the public's going to know what's going on? Where are we going to?
I know. Shame on me.
Well,
My God.
I guess we're gonna have to figure out a way, like, who can drill down to how much did Bob spend on a dinner with a client the other night? I mean, I don't want to get emails from people complaining about internal type things.
We will not have drill down to the transaction level. If that's something that the city greatly desires, we
Yeah, let the professionals do their
The
job.
drill down is on the account level, so you'll see what's being spent for
Okay.
that particular account within city manager department.
Right now, does one department able to access another department's numbers?
A user would be able to say, hey, on my dashboard, I want to see these other departments in addition to mine, and I could grant them the access.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. I'm smiling under the mask.
I'm really-
Just letting you know, it's
I'm
really
very
cool.
happy we're moving away from the paper,
Yeah,
getting lost from desk to desk and whatnot.
it's been a change, and there's maybe some growing pains, but I think we're getting through it. I've got my department heads behind me, either they're smiling or they're scolding me behind their masks, but I think ultimately, long run, everybody's going to feel good about this, because it's real-time information that's available to them, just through, and you can look at everything I'm showing you, you can access right on your phone as well. So it's convenient from that standpoint. So they can approve an invoice on their phone. They can go click it, pull up the invoice, see it, and then hit the approve button. So it makes a lot of advantages over having to physically get that invoice in paper and physical wet signature. And then when the form is completed, it shows the workflow approval history. So from an audit standpoint, they can see exactly who approved it and when.
This is awesome, and I hope everybody realizes the biggest advantage of this, for us sitting up here, the biggest advantage is come budget time.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? We're not going to have to use, and Andrew had busted his chops a lot this year about getting up-to-date numbers. In the past, we based budgets on a year prior.
Projected.
Right,
yeah.
and trying to figure out how to approve a proper budget. Now we're going to have real-time information. This changes the game, man. That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Great, thank you.
That's me.
Looking forward to budget season, I think.
Yeah.
Mayor, just one other thing, I just wanted to take this opportunity to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and the happiest of holidays. I know we do have some members of our community that are suffering, and please keep them in your prayers. And I ask the community, let's all just stick together and get through this.
And I'd like to say that last night's meeting, I thought was a huge success. Everyone I spoke to said they got their questions answered. I was walking to my car, and the lady parked next to me looked at me and said, "You're so lucky." I looked at her and I said, "Well, why is that?" They go, "Our city has never done anything like this. We don't do anything. You've got such a good mayor." She's from Treasure Island. So I don't know if everyone here out there in La La Land knew the professionals that were sitting up here last night answering questions and then went into breakout sessions. We had an insurance expert, an emergency expert. We had, of course, Linda and Frank here who are experts on our city, and people just lined up and got their questions answered. And other than the fact that, of course, our equipment didn't work as good for the overflow group, I didn't hear any grumbling at all. So
We do have a great staff, and I want to congratulate them as well.
absolutely. Linda and Frank did a great job
And
to command,
absolutely.
and,
I have to say, Linda is a rock star for this city. She really had it together and did a heck of a job last night, and that was all. The credit is due to Linda. She put that together.
well, people weren't understanding why can't I get my permit like now, kind of a thing. And I'm getting calls like that, and I'm like, well, someone's got to look at it and make sure it's, available for you to do right now. And we cleared up some questions about, should someone tear out the drywall in their house now? Can they start demoing even if they don't have a permit yet? And things things were really laid out, I think, so people could understand it. And I think everyone left here feeling I felt worse. I'm like, mold can go in concrete block? Oh, my God. So now I'm rethinking my own issues. But just very informative and very, made me feel really good at how smart everybody was up here and answering everyone's questions. So thank you guys in the back. That was
Thank you very
wonderful.
much. Frank,
Wonderful.
thank you too. It was a very good meeting. A lot of good came out of it.
How late does that thing go? I mean, people... 8:30, okay, not too bad, okay.
So the key thing is now we got to make sure nobody steals her.
Oh.
So
Agreed.
Could we get that on the workshop so that we can pass an ordinance that Linda Portel can never leave Deer Beach? So, City Clerk, do you have anything for us?
I do not.
Commissioners? do
But
y'all
wishing
have-
everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy
Yep.
New Year.
I got two quick things, Mr. Mayor. Actually, I had three, but you guys just answered it. I was going to ask about the meeting last night, and thank you for everybody I've spoken to about it was raving about it, so that's great. Secondly, I'd like to see that HR position listed. I don't want it going 4 months like we did with the attorney RFP that took forever to get out, but so I'd like to see that the HR position listed. And finally, I've had the opportunity, and I won't say why because I don't want to violate anything, but I've had to knock on some doors here and talk to some people over the last few days. And Mr. Mayor, you have made quite a few fans around here. Your dedication to this city and what you do really lends credence to what I was talking about, having a strong mayor, because people are, there are people that didn't vote for you that have said, wow, his compassion and his passion for the city has just been amazing. So I tip my hat to you, sir.
Yes, me too.
Well, maybe we can keep these masks on after this thing's over, because, no, I appreciate it, Commissioner Andrews. I've been working hard. I have been working hard, but I love this city. And so Merry Christmas to everybody. I would like to say, whether you're for it or against it, we brought up having hens last time, so if everyone would go over the emails that were sent to us regarding the ordinances that other cities have. If you're against it, that's fine too, but if you're for it, go through and make bullet points of the features you would like to bring forward if we do an ordinance. And let's workshop this thing in January, and if we decide we want to move forward with an ordinance that we can get before us and vote on. And the other thing is, while we're doing this, all this reconstruction because of ETA, there are a lot of dilapidated docks out there, even before the storm, that are coming apart and floating down the canals and waterways. And I'd like to ask people to go out there if you've got a dilapidated dock and just demo it and get rid of it. I know this is a good time to do it. You don't need permits. And let's get some of these docks either replaced, or if you don't have a boat anymore and you don't use your dock and it's falling apart, take it apart so that we don't have that water hazard out there. That's all I got.
I have one thing I'd like to bring up. On the Channel 640, this meeting and the previous meeting, you could hear voices, but there's no picture. So the residents out there that tune in to 640 aren't seeing anything. So we need, city manager needs to figure out what we need to do to get the picture back on the Channel 640, please.
Yes, we were working on that. We had Spectrum out here today, but it was the wrong technician, so we've been having a lot of issues with Spectrum. But the storm actually knocked out our Channel 640 and some of the other connections we have, but we've been able to get us back on the air, and part of the problem that we had last night was still attributed to the fact that the storm really hit us for at least our electronics. So, but we are on top of it, and hopefully we'll get it set up by the time of our next meeting.
Let's be sure and get Ms. Portel to list that for FEMA.
I think we already did.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have anything else? Okay, it is 6:55. This meeting is adjourned.